Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to take a look at some really cool shit, namely that of particle systems and sound effects which you can cue and add to your animations in Blockbench. Particle effects are great when you want to add visual rewards to events in the game. You can add them to your animations, you can add them to block breaking, for example, like it's in Minecraft, or you can even add them to add environmental effects like fog and smoke. The two most common ways that people would namely describe particle systems to be used for is, for example, explosions, and fog and smoke can sort of be seen as the same. Regardless, in this case scenario, I have a particle system right here that is made to display the particles, or these 2D images I can see that are animated, just the animated fire texture from Minecraft. They are displayed as what's called a billboard system. And billboarding, as you notice, I'm going to describe exactly what it is in a second, but if you just take a quick brief look here, all of these different images are always facing the camera. That's what's called billboarding. It's using the screen space to give us the information of the picture. Now, if I wanted to, I could set this facing to, for example, direction X. Now, it would only face in the direction X of the world space here. And back to rotate. And in this case, for example, we can see that the fire is spreading outwards. Now, if I wanted to change that, I could take, for example, down the speed to 0, because right now the mode is set to change or push these particles outwards. One way to do it, or one way to change that, is to take inwards, for example. Now they're all going to go for the middle, and any negative values would make them work outwards again. Before anything else, I just want to take a bit of a quick pause here and talk briefly about Janice, the creator behind Blockbench and also the creator behind Snowstorm. That's super simple to use particle effects system editor that I was just working in. Now, Snowstorm can be found online. If you want to get a link to that, you can find it down in the description, and also some links to Janice's other types of information out on the interwebs. Same thing if I add a direction. Now they're going to go in only the direction defined by me, and in this case it's the acceleration of the y-axis, the axis that goes up and down in the game world. But this video is not about particle systems per se, it's about how to add particle systems and sound events to your models in Blockbench, or even into your exports. And how we do that is quite simple. When you have made your file, which is usually saved as a JSON, you have your texture for it, you have defined a texture path for that JSON particle system, then you just jump straight back into Blockbench and you go to Animate. I have set something up here for us, but I'm going to show you exactly what it is in a second. So in Animate, as we know by regular, if we have a model and stuff like that, we usually have a few bones. And as you can notice, there is also this little thing called a locator here. And this locator is mandatory for the particle system to be played elsewhere, but at the core of the world space pivot for this model. And that is always at 0, 0 in this model position. So if we were to go into edit, the actual situation would be that if I didn't add a locator, the particle would play from this point right here. Now with the locator, however, I can change where the particle is located or played from. If I were to go into move here, you can see that I have my locator placed just above the toilet lid. And that is because in the particle that I made, I'm going to show you, I started the slight negative value and then I made the particles fall or flow upwards. And you're going to see that when we play the animation. Now in the animation, in order to apply your particles proper, you need to click on this little button right here called Animate Effects. Clicking Animate Effects brings up the Effects tab. And this is something that I know several people aren't super used to. And it's very efficient if you want to bring informations to your programmers, for example. You can add instructions like this, and then you can type in what the instructions should be and leave that with them in the script, for example. You could also add sound cues, such as this one, and then time code them for when they are on the timeline and bring that information to programmers as well, unless you're doing this on your own. In my case, I took a particle, I added a keyframe for a particle, I brought in the particle file by clicking select keyframe file. I selected my file in my usual file browser, and then I decided to use the locator, which I've made previously. As you can see here, it's named locator. I can name this to whatever I want. And I'm given the locator and get to use that one as the positioner for my particle. And now when I play the animation, what you're going to notice is on this keyframe right here, the particle is going to start to play. And as you can see here, it's already sitting there facing us, looking beautiful and happy as ever, right? We're going to go to the start. And as you can see, there are no particles playing at this point. This is a toilet opening, obviously. So you can see here, the fire comes up and it goes away. So that is my particle event. Bloop, like so. And it's played at the given keyframe right here in the event. Now, sound effects works just the same as particles. You give them a keyframe, you go to your, see here, animate and sound, and you go to your select keyframe file, you bring in your file, and all you need to do is that. Then it's actually going to show you the sound file right here below here. And now if I were to play this animation now, I've borrowed the sound effects from one of the mummies over at the Halloween map that we made with Mythicus in October this year. And as you can hear now, it both has a fire flowing up and also a sound effect that's played with animation. And with that all said and done, there is this little one more thing we're going to have to fix, and that has to do with the animation file from this particular project when we're done. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is. Right, so having brought up my Notepad++ again, I can now show you how to add the extra information. As you can see here, the program has recognized that we wanted to add a sound effect and also a particle effect. Now, in order for these to work, we actually, in several other scripts, if you're working for Bedrock Minecraft, have to apply a few other bits and grits that's going to be applied to this. However, before we can do any of that, we of course need to define these effects in here, and by doing that, we can actually play them at a given time. So, first and foremost, let's figure out when our sound effect is played. Alright, it's at 00005. Right, I can work with that. Let's go back to the actual file. So, we'll just begin like this. So 0.05, that's our given time for this very sound effect. And it's going to be playing, let's see here, I'm going to use the wings like so. Sorry, working a bit on the keyboard here. And then, of course, we're going to name this effect whatever we want the file to be called when we're calling it from within the game. So that would, in this case, be maybe sound. We'll just call it sound for now, because this is only to show you exactly how it's done. Same thing now with the particle effect. We can just copy and dupe the very same information as we had for the sound effect. But instead, of course, we'll figure out when the particle is played. As I can see, 1, 2, 3, so 3.5. Here's 035. There we go. That's when that is played. And then we can call that little particle. That is how simple it is. And then we simply just save that file. Now you've added an event for your sound at a given time. You'll also add an event for your particle at a given time. The 0 here represents seconds, and these are hundredths of a second. As you can see here, well, at least it's a 10th of a second and a 100th of a second that you work with below that. So that should be all you need to know about how to implement sounds and particles for your models, at least in Blockbench. Now, if you want to bring them into Minecraft, there's a bit more to do, but you can probably figure out that unless I give you another video on that subject later on. So take care, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you around in the next video.